Right, so we're here at LeWeb08. So who are you? What's your
Errol,
company?
I'm Errol Damelin. I'm the founder CEO of Wonga.com. We're a UK provider of small short-term loans. So we provide loans directly to consumers in the UK.
That sounds like a micro, what's it called?
Micro lending.
Micro lending?
It is micro lending, but only in the UK. We lend off our own balance sheet, so it's not peer-to-peer, and we lend our own capital, instant loans, 24/7. So we're the first provider to ever be able to provide 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, loans online. And we lend up to £200 the first time a customer comes to the site, and then up to £750 over time, and to a maximum of 30 days.
30 days. And you have some ways to check people's ID and stuff? Or
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a really responsible lender, and so to do that, we have to make sure we're selecting very carefully and only lending to people who can afford to take the loans. And so we check in real time hundreds of pieces of data, our own proprietary risk management system that is completely unique, completely automated. No human being.
No bureaucracy.
No bureaucracy, all completely automated and scalable, which is how we do it 24 hours a day.
That's very useful in these times, maybe.
It is. There's a lot of demand. We're very selective. So we accept a small minority of applicants only. We're very selective, and still the volume's growing very strongly. It's we're doing very nicely.
So what kind of things would people need to do with the loans?
Good question. So two people use it for two main reasons. The first is for unexpected bills. So the car breaks down, the boiler breaks, they need to put a deposit for a new flat, something unexpected, or else something that they want to go on holiday, they want to do a trip, so a lot of travel related, want to go on a ski weekend, want to go away with their friends. So those are the two main reasons people use Wonga.
And they have to explain why they don't have the money?
No, they don't.
Later,
they don't. No, not at all. We ask them out of interest, and it's useful for us to understand that, but it's not mandatory.
Right.
We really believe that people understand themselves what they need the cash for, and as long as they can afford it, they know how to make the right decisions for themselves.
So there's the guy, he got the Nobel Prize for the idea, one of the implementations, right?
That's right.
So what do you think is a potential future for your business?
So microfinance is very different in the developed and developing world. So where we're doing it in the UK, the future is very strong because for different reasons to Bangladesh, for example. So for us, the main reason is most people have had negative experiences with credit cards as long-term debt. And actually, if they need cash, they're mostly much more happy getting short-term loans that don't leave them with long-term obligations. And our customers tell us that all the time. So we see over 85% of our customers prefer using Wonga to a credit card, mostly because of it's short-term. They pay the money and in 20 days or 30 days it's done. And they don't have that hangover of debt. In the developing world, it's very different. In the developing world, there's a shortage of capital in general. And so micro-lending plays a very important role in providing that. So we back and our partners with a website called Kiva.org, for example, where we lend £1 interest-free to entrepreneurs in the developing world for every loan that we make. And that's money that goes to people. There might be a fisherman in Cambodia, or a shop owner in Tanzania, or somebody in Peru who's got a building supply store that needs capital as a young entrepreneur or older entrepreneur to get. And we also work with that. We partner them with, as Wonga, we partner with Kiva, and we're very close. So we're very close to microfinance in general in both sectors. And they're both, microfinance are a very strong driver, but very different in both markets.
So you mentioned interest. So what is how does it work with that? How much cost?
So we charge 1% interest per day. So for the average loans, £150 for 10 or 15 days. So it'd be £1.50 a day for 15 days. So it's a very transparent model, and it lands up being much less expensive than banks, for example, in the UK, if you're going to go over your overdraft limit. So if somebody's at the point where they're going to go over their overdraft limit, we're about 1/10 of the price of Lloyd's, for example. So it's very good value for money for short-term small loans. The economics wouldn't work for big long-term loans. That's why we don't provide those products.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure.